Now, an educational institution, Afrelib Academy, has emphasized the vital role of education in shaping future young learners by organizing a tech and a career expo to celebrate the brilliance of young minds. The Robotics and GPT AI Tech Challenge 2023 is aimed at empowering young learners with the knowledge and skills to navigate the cutting-edge world of AI technology. Zainab Akogun has more on this story.
Great Heights Academy has emerged as the triumphant winner of the Afrelib Academic Robotic and GPT AI Tech Challenge 2023. The challenge that is set to empower young learners between the ages of 10 and 18 with the knowledge and skills to navigate the cutting-edge world of AI technology. In an era marked by rapid technological advancement, preparing the upcoming generation for the complex opportunities and challenges of the future has become a top priority. Afrelib Academy, an esteemed educational institution, has taken upon itself the significant responsibility of bridging the gap between education and technology, offering students an unparalleled opportunity to explore, collaborate, and innovate.
So the sensor is going to detect 30 meters and 30 centimeters away. So the metal chamber will open. Maybe it will put it inside. But if it's not metal, like plastic or paper, this is open and you put it inside.
Speaking at the annual Tech and Career Expo conference in Abuja, the co-founder Afrelib Academy, Joseph Kolawole Ajunwo, highlighted its crucial role in equipping learners with the necessary skills to strive in the forthcoming era by nurturing collaborative problem solving and fostering creative thinking.
The future of work, the future of these children, the future of our continent, the future of our nation. Now, to look at that future, we need to prepare these children for that future. We cannot keep doing that by looking in the rearview mirror. We now need to begin to plan and put everything in place to give them all the skills they need to succeed in that future. We don't help them if we set them up to fail. The only way we can set them up to succeed is by making sure that they have everything they need today as they prepare for that future. How do we do that? We do that by making sure that we look far into the future, look at what the future looks like it might be, and then equip them with the skills that they need to succeed in that future. We do that by making sure that they have creative thinking, creative problem-solving skills, by looking around at the environment and ensuring that the challenges that they see, they can create to create solutions for it. So government, other stakeholders, parents, schools need to take notice of what they're doing because truly their time has come.
The representative from the Ministry of Education applauded Afrelib Academy and called for more non-governmental involvement in transforming educational sector.
In this regard, we will continue to maintain synergy with the organizations that have similar ideas that will help transform our education sector to enable our children compete with their peers on the other global stage. We are open to partnership on any far-reaching initiative and align with our vision. So we are happy that you have this program there that is helping to train our children in AI, which is the in thing now in every other area of our life.
Also speaking, the program coordinator Afrelib Academy, Joyce Gomina, explained that the vision behind the Tech Challenge is the advancement of passion for technology in solving problems.
For us, it's important that students and learners are empowered to be able to survive, to be able to thrive in the future of work. And these skills are now the skills that most employers look out for. Most employers are looking out for people who can solve problems. They are looking for people who can think critically. They are looking for people who can maximize technology to improve on the outcome of their organizations. So beyond the normal math, English, and all of that, we know that these children need skills that they can use to become independent in the nearest future.
Several students involved in the project shared their motives for engaging with AI learning. They earnestly called upon the government for support to facilitate further research and enhancements.
I would like the government to sponsor our projects and make it advance so that other people will actually venture into it and get to start using it, because the farm intruder alert system is really going to be helpful to those farmers whom have experienced farm intrusion in their farms.
We used KAFTAN to make the outline of the board. This is a sensor, Arduino sensor, and this is the main Arduino board. These are the two servo motors. This thing can be used, it can be used in community waste management.
The challenge included 150 students working in 16 different teams from different schools across FCT. As a testament to their accomplishment, the winning schools were bestowed with a reward of 1 million naira. Zainab Akogun reporting for KAFTAN TV.
Now, the Jigawa state government has rolled out palliatives to cushion the effects of the removal of fuel subsidy among people in the state, including entrepreneurs, small and medium-scale business operators. The State Commissioner for Information, Youth, Sports and Culture, Sagir Musa, stated this when he addressed newsmen on the resolutions of the State Executive Council meeting in Duse, the state capital. Musa said the state government had approved 134 million naira for the purchase of 5 trucks of rice for distribution to less privileged people. He explained that the approval was to complement the efforts of the federal government, which donated 5 trucks of rice to the state government for distribution as palliative to cushion the effect of fuel subsidy removal. Now, the Nigeria Customs Service at the second NSCDC Commandants General Conference on Wednesday in Abuja, the Commandant General of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Ahmed Audi, has called on state commandants to re-energize their anti-vandal and intelligence units to effectively check the excessive amount of illegal bunkering and economic saboteurs in Nigeria. Audi stated the commitment of the Corps to maintain the fight against oil theft and other criminal activities in the country. He further added that it is necessary to work with other security agencies to tackle the security threats.
Focus on the protection of critical national assets and infrastructure. Owing to the critical nature of these assets and infrastructure, the national security and socio-economic development, the need for the Corps to strengthen security to safeguard the country's critical national assets and infrastructure cannot be overemphasized. As a lead agency, we should continue to take proactive and pragmatic steps through covert and overt operations, discreet investigation and intelligence gathering to track down those who engage in acts capable of undermining the security and integrity of our collective patrimony. It is against this backdrop that I want to charge you to intensify patrol, monitoring, and surveillance of critical national assets and infrastructure in all formations across the country, including the FCT, to guard against oil theft, vandalism of infrastructure, violent attacks, and or sabotage. This is without prejudice to the string of successes the Corps has recorded in this regard.
The Nigeria Customs Service Federal Operations Unit Zone D has revealed that it seized contraband worth 1.17 billion naira between January to 9th August 2023. The acting FOU controller, Joseph Adelaja, disclosed this at a press conference in Bauchi yesterday. Adelaja said during the period under review, the unit made a total of 88 seizures, prominent of which are 174,585 liters of petroleum products and 9 sacks of pangolin scales and claws weighing 396.4 kilograms. Others, including to him, are 1,800 bags of sugar, which is 50 kg each, 343 bags of fertilizer, and 328 bags of 50 kg foreign parboiled rice, amongst other seizures. A reminder of our top stories. Acting Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetogun mobilizes 40,000 police personnel, secures borders. In business, Niger owes Nigeria 4 billion naira for power supply, says NERC. Another foreign scene, ECOWAS leaders gather for key summit in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Coming up in business, cooking gas price to rise next week, says market.
Yes, there is news on your device, but hearing an analyst's perspective is the icing on the cake that Daybreak Africa provides. Start your day with prompt analysis of the latest news, trends,
and then you see these people, they're so agile, they can
politics.
We have to go back to that regional system. That is the foundation of this country, for God's sake.
Entertainment, fashion, culinary skills.
So first I'm going to be pouring the oil inside because
religious and cultural events amongst others on Daybreak Africa. For a rich mix of analysis on current issues, tune in daily from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on channel 480 and 124 on Startimes.
While wrapping up the day, unwind with the reminiscence of the day's news from home and abroad with KAFTAN TV 7 p.m. news.
Good to have you join us on KAFTAN News at 7.
Nigerians are living in affluence. 5% are young people. We propose the Harmony Symphony.
It's good to have you join us on KAFTAN TV News at 7.
When we found that this 10 naira card was not actually sufficient.
National, foreign news headlines. Get balanced, accurate facts on the latest news in business, politics, entertainment, sports, and more. Live from our studios.
Many thanks for watching and join us again at 9
KAFTAN TV News.
Glad to have you back, and now to business stories. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission has stated in its first quarter reports that Niger currently owes Nigeria 4.22 billion naira for power supply. According to the report, Niger State's power firm Nigerian Electricity Society was yet to remit the $5.48 million invoice issued for power supply by the Nigerian market operator. None of the underlisted international customers made any payment against the cumulative $16.11 million invoice issued to them in 2023 first quarter. Paris B $3.46 million, Transcorp $3.85 million, Mainstream and Gilec $5.48 million, and Odukmani said $3.32 million. He stated that out of 842.38 million naira invoice issued by Mo to all the 8 bilateral customers and the NESI, only North-South Star Pipe made a remittance of 15.38 million naira against its invoice of 24.69 million naira. The NEC mandated the market operator to invoke the provision of the market rules to curtail the payments in discipline being exhibited by the various market participants. And now the president of the Nigerian Association of Liquefied Petroleum Gas Marketers, Olatubosun Oladapo, has said gas consumers should brace themselves for the price hike starting next week. He cited rising international prices, high tax rates, and prices of vessels, forex scarcity, and naira devaluation as some of the reasons for the intended price review. Olatubosun described the imminent price increment as unfortunate, adding that consumers are now returning to firewood, charcoal, and sawdust for cooking. He advised the government should come in and alleviate the suffering of the masses by providing palliatives, reducing taxes and levies. A report from the NDDC has revealed that a total of 1,587 projects valued at 612.4 billion naira that are under the Niger Delta Development Commission have been terminated and abandoned in the Niger Delta region. Data from the report specifically showed that 1,262 projects in the region valued at 407.75 billion naira had been terminated, while 325 projects with a combined worth of 204.64 billion naira had been stalled or abandoned. The report indicated that the percentages of the total contract values of the terminated and stalled/abandoned projects were 7.4% and 1.9% respectively. The report gave a breakdown of projects in the region that had been completed, ongoing, not yet started, stalled, abandoned, terminated, and taken over by other agencies. Now, still to come on the foreign scene. Ecuador presidential candidate Fernando Villavicencio shot dead at rally. We'll be right back.
In a world where information is vital to every individual, a platform where technology is a medium to pass information, you can always catch up on all information written in the newspapers, even without having one. Join us on The Press.
Reaching live from the Abuja studios.
On the punch for this morning, the Blueprint newspaper Nigerian Tribune this morning.
As we give you information and opinions about current events and topical issues on politics, business, sports, entertainment, weather forecasts, and lots more in the local city, across all states, and across all countries. Showing daily on Startimes, channel 124, 9 a.m. West African time, only on KAFTAN TV. Stay connected with us on our social media handles.
I pursue the federal government to pay us our damage.
YouTube, KAFTAN TV.
A very tricky one. And then the bottom line is this.
Website www.kaftan.tv.
Point is, the youth must come together. The pendulum can swing in your favor.
Instagram, KAFTAN_TV. KAFTAN TV. Imagine a beautiful world.
While wrapping up the day, unwind with the reminiscence of the day's news from home and abroad with KAFTAN TV 7 p.m. news.
Good to have you join us on KAFTAN News at 7.
Nigerians are living in affluence. 5% are young people. We propose the Harmony Symphony.
It's good to have you join us on KAFTAN TV News at 7.
We found that the 10 naira tax is not actually sufficient.
National foreign news headlines. Get balanced, accurate facts on the latest news in business, politics, entertainment, sports, and more. Live from our studios.
Many thanks for watching and join us again at 9
KAFTAN TV News.
Welcome back to the news, and now to global matters. Leaders from West African bloc ECOWAS will meet today for an emergency summit on the coup in Niger after the country's military chiefs defied an ultimatum to restore the elected president. 2 weeks after the coup had toppled Mohamed Bazoum, the Economic Community of West African States says it is seeking a diplomatic solution but has not ruled out using force to resolve the crisis. According to a statement from the 15-nation organization on Tuesday, important decisions are expected from the gathering in Nigeria's capital Abuja today, struggling to stem a cascade of coup amongst its members since 2020. The bloc gave the troops who seized power on July 26th until last Sunday to reinstate Bazoum or face the potential use of force. Coup leaders remain defiant, however, and the deadline passed without action. Now, a candidate in Ecuador's forthcoming presidential election who has campaigned against corruption and gangs has been shot dead at a campaign rally. Fernando Villavicencio, a member of the country's National Assembly, was attacked as he left the event in the capital, Quito, on Wednesday. As one of the few candidates to allege links between organized crime and government officials in Ecuador, a criminal gang called Los Lobos, the Wolves, has claimed responsibility. Los Lobos is the second largest gang in Ecuador with some 8,000 members, many of whom are behind bars. The gang has been involved in a number of recent deadly prison fights in which scores of inmates have been brutally killed. The killing comes less than a fortnight before presidential elections, in which the issue of insecurity features as top concern. Now, at least 36 people have died as wildfires rage across Mulls County in Hawaii, officials say. The fires have been fanned by strong winds from a passing hurricane, destroying hundreds of buildings and burning some areas to the ground. Thousands of people have been forced to evacuate their homes on Mulls Island, and a state of emergency has been declared. A huge search and rescue operation is on the way, and helicopters have been dropping water on the fires from above. Now, up next is our Today in History package.
On this day in 1937, versatile, inexpensive, and relatively easy to play, the acoustic guitar was a staple of American rural music in the early 20th century, particularly black rural music such as the blues. But a significant physical limitation made it a poor fit in ensembles made up of brass, woodwind, and orchestral string instruments. The acoustic guitar was simply too quiet. What transformed the guitar and its place in popular music, and eventually transformed popular music itself, was the development of a method for transforming the sound of a vibrating guitar string into an electric signal that could be amplified and reconverted into audible sound at a much greater volume. The electric guitar, the instrument that revolutionized jazz, blues, and country music, and made the later rise of rock and roll possible, was recognized by the United States Patent Office on August 10 with the award of patents 2089.171 to G.D. Beauchamp for an instrument known as the Rickenbacker frying pan. On this day in 1945, just a day after the bombing of Nagasaki, Japan submitted acquiescence to the Potsdam Conference terms of unconditional surrender as President Harry S. Truman orders a halt to atomic bombing. Emperor Hirohito, having remained aloof from the daily decisions of prosecuting the war, rubber-stamping the decisions of his war council, including the decisions of bomb Pearl Harbor, finally felt compelled to do more. On this day in 1978, 3 teenage girls die after their 1973 Ford Pinto is rammed from behind by a van and burst into flames on an Indiana highway. The fatal crash was one of a series of Pintos accidents that caused a national scandal during the 1970s. The small and economical Pinto, which debuted in 1970, was Ford's first subcompact car produced domestically, and its answer to popular imports like Volkswagen Beetle and the Toyota Corolla. Lee Iacocca, then an executive vice president at Ford and later to earn fame as head of Chrysler, spearheaded the Pinto's development. On this day in 2003, the United Kingdom records its first ever temperature over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Throughout the month, an intense heat wave scorched the European continent, claiming more than 35,000 lives. August 2003 was the hottest August ever recorded in the Northern Hemisphere and broke all previous records from heat-related deaths. France was the worst hit with almost 15,000 victims, followed by Germany, where approximately 7,000 people died. Thousands also died in Spain and Italy. A majority of victims were elderly, very young, or chronically ill. And that's all on Today in History.
Now let's join our correspondent on the entertainment desk.
Welcome to the entertainment desk. I am Folarin Ishola. Mavin Records have announced the signing of a new artist who goes by the stage name Life Size Steady. A rapper, artist, and writer, the new Mavin is eclectic, talented, multi-dimensional, and utterly unpredictable. Life Size Steady, born Treasure Akpaifi Banigo, is as inspired by the unconventional as she is by the mundane. Growing up in the scenic island of Boni River State, Life Size Steady has always been drawn towards objects, stories, and ideas with sentimental value. Everyday life appeals to her, but so does spirituality and the beauty and potential inherent in the unexpected. This is her story and her journey. On her debut Life Size Steady EP, Teddy serves an impressionable and experimental blend of 5 songs which testifies to her impressive range, artistic intelligence, and sonic talents. Moving on, controversial Nigerian singer Portable has finally aired his grievances with bloggers who have made it their job to air his business. In a video on his page, the singer noted that he asked bloggers to promote his music but have been posting his relationships way too much. The Zazu crooner, while shading a popular blogger, asked for people to notice other bloggers like Tunde Ednot. He then begged bloggers in his business to post good content like his music so he can keep succeeding. And on the foreign scene, Ciara is expecting her 3rd child with her husband Russell Wilson. The singer shared the news on Instagram by posting a video of herself dancing near a pool, turning to reveal her growing baby bump. She captioned the post, "You look at me like that again, we make another kid. You my heart, I'm your rib." Ciara already has 2 beautiful children with the Denver Broncos quarterback, 6-year-old daughter Sienna Princess, and 3-year-old son Win Harrison. They also co-parent 9-year-old future Zahir, whom Ciara had with ex-fiancé rapper Future. Congratulatory messages and well wishes soon filled her comment section as fans, well wishers, and other celebrities sent in their kind regards and prayers to the expectant parents. And lastly, on entertainment, the creator of BBC One comedy series 2 Doors Down, Simon Carlyle, has died at age 48. His manager has confirmed Carlyle from Air wrote the show as one-off special in 2013 before it was commissioned in 2016. Louise Thornton, head of commissioning at BBC Scotland, said staff were deeply saddened to hear the news. She added, Simon was a major writing talent, loved for his work on 2 Doors Down and many other series. Carlyle's manager, Amanda Davis, described him as a supportive and nurturing collaborator, while revealing that he died at age 48. And that's all on the entertainment desk. Back to the main studio.
News, our correspondent is standing by.
And in sports, following the country's underwhelming performance at the just concluded World University Games in Chengdu, China, the Nigerian University Games Association says it will find ways to enhance the performance of its athletes in subsequent international competitions. After missing the last edition in Napoli 2019, the country was represented by 27 athletes selected from 22 schools in 7 events at the year's game in China, but the contingent failed to win any medal at the Games. Acting Secretary General of NUGA, Chidebere Ezeni, said that the body was already exploring ways to reposition its student athletes for better performance, especially in terms of getting funds to prepare them for the competitions. Some of the athletes who shared their experiences with new correspondents acknowledged the essence of exposure as immense for their growth. Still in sports, AC Milan new signing Samuel Chigozie is keen to write his name in the club's history, insisting he is in Italy to win trophies with the club. The Nigerian international joined the Serie A giants from Villarreal following protracted talks between both clubs. The negotiation process took a long time as Villarreal wanted 35 million euros, but they eventually accepted 20 million euros plus another 8 million euros in add-ons from the Italian giants. Chigozie had his presentation press conference as a Milan player on Wednesday, having made his debut in the final minutes of last night's 1-1 trophy. Berlusconi draw with Monza. Rossoneri won penalties. In his speech, the 24-year-old who scored 13 goals last season for the Yellow Submarines said he was in Milan to make history. Still in sports, Saudi Arabia has emerged as a force in the football transfer market this year, offering eye-watering salaries that have lured a host of big names to the oil-rich Gulf Kingdom. Cristiano Ronaldo's arrival in January to play for the Riyadh-based Al Nassr is what first drew global attention to ongoing efforts to boost the Saudi Pro League. He was followed by his former Real Madrid teammate Karim Benzema, the 2022 Ballon d'Or winner who signed a 3-year contract with Al Ittihad in June. Just a few days later, fellow Frenchman N'Golo Kante joined the same Jeddah-based club, also on a 3-year deal. The veteran and member of France's victorious 2018 World Cup squad will form a partnership with Brazilian Fabinho, arriving from Liverpool in midfield. Algeria captain Riyad Mahrez has signed 4 years with Jeddah-based Al Ahly, a transfer estimated at 35 billion euros. The latest coup for the Saudis is Sadio Mane, the Senegalese star who signed with Ronaldo's Al Nassr for a reported annual salary of 40 million euros plus 10 million euros in resulted-based bonuses. Lastly, in sports, Flying Eagles left back Solomon Agbalaka has been unveiled by Sochi FC after he completed a season-long loan transfer to Russia club from Broad City FC in Lagos. Sochi confirmed the signing of the Nigerian on Wednesday. The 19-year-old defender was a standout player for Nigeria during the last Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations and the World Cup in Argentina in June. He played every minute of Nigeria's games in both competitions and won the Man of the Match award once at the Nations Cup. He has been tipped for a move abroad since the Flying Eagles outstaffed from the competition with reports of several offers from Germany and Belgium. However, Agbalaka cannot play continental football unless he leaves the Russian league next summer. This is because UEFA has banned all Russian clubs from competing in the competitions indefinitely because of the Russian-Ukrainian war. Sochi is currently 11th in the Russian Premier League after just 3 games. And that is all in sports.
And that's all on the news at this hour. But before we go, a recap of our top stories. Acting Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetokun mobilizes 40,000 police personnel, secures borders. In business, Niger owes Nigeria 4 billion naira for power supply, says NERC. And on the foreign scene, ECOWAS leaders gather for key summits in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Many thanks for staying with us. I am Olamide Al Hassan. Do have a great afternoon.